Hey everyone, how y'all doing today? So in this video, I'm going to be talking about some audio stuff. Okay, so if you don't know by now, and I've said it in the past, that I do a lot of DJing, and that's done over the internet live stream. So in this video, I'm going to go over some things that I just want to point out to you about some audio stuff that you might want to consider whether you're doing live DJing or you're just playing music for yourself. First off, you want to make sure you have good quality cable. And the thickness in the cable has a very big part in it. Now this cable right here, if you really look at it, it is very thin. That means it doesn't have enough insulation and shielding in it. You're gonna get some noise interference if you use this kind of cable. Now some people hearing is not that fine-tuned where they hear the little noise interference and stuff like that, while some people like audiophiles, they hear that kind of stuff. So the other half, they just ignore it. They hear music, it sounds good to them, no big deal. But if you're looking for quality sound, you need some thicker cable. Now if you look at these right here, this is what you need. You need something that has some heavy duty cabling into it, and this is well shielded, so you will get less interference using a cable like this compared to a cable like this, because this has no kind of protection in it. This is designed to block out a lot of that interference, because when cables rub up against other cables, they transfer noise, whether it's electrical noise or any other kind of noise. And most of that noise can be heard in the form of a buzzing sound or a humming sound or clicking sound or any kind of weird sound that you hear in your song while you're trying to listen to it. So that's why you would need this kind of cable versus this kind of thin cable right here to eliminate all of that stuff. Another thing you want to try to do is get the gold-plated tip cables. This kind of connection would transfer sound at a cleaner quality versus this right here that's silver. So go for the gold plated if you're buying cables, and like I said, get the thick cables. Stay away from these thin cable right here if you're really interested in getting a high quality sound out of your music. The next thing above this is optical cables. That means the sound traveling on a beam of light, but this setup right here doesn't have any optical connection, so the only thing we're going to focus on is audio cables. So next up, whenever I DJ, I like to listen to my music and hear how it sounds. So I like to monitor my sound to make sure I'm not putting out too much lows or too much high or too much mid-range. I'm not talking too low on the mic. I'm not talking too high on the mic, because I'm trying to get that best quality sound of output to my audience. And what I use for that is these portable speakers right here. Now these are made by Harman, but they sound real good. They put out a lot of bass, they put out a lot of highs, and it sounds well balanced. But I'm also adjusting my equalizer to make sure I'm not putting out too much high, lows, and make sure everything is all balanced. So this speaker right here is actually a Bluetooth speaker, but on the back of it, it has a headphone jack where I can run it to my mixer. So my initial setup was to use this cable to feed to just speakers only, but I would only have one channel. Well, actually it's two channels in one speaker, but I wanted some type of separation. I wanted a speaker on the left side and a speaker on the right side. So to get these two speakers connected at the same time, I had to come up with an ingenious way of doing it. So this cable had to go because it can only feed out to one speaker at a time. And to replace that cable, I got these cables right here. So this is two separate cables. One end is an RCA, because I need an RCA connection, and the other end is the headphone jack. So the difference between these cables and this cable right here is the fact that this is stereo. That means it feed out to left and right channel, while this one feed out to left and this one feed out to right. And it's based on the tip. If you look at the tip of this one, it only has one black line, while this one has two black lines. This means it goes to left and right, and this means it only goes to one channel. So you're only going to hear the sound coming out of either the left or the right, but you won't hear it separate just like this one does. But I went with this right here because this had a thicker cable versus the one that I was using before. And like I said, I get to separate the sound. So now I'm not forcing the sound through this little cable right here and try to go to this output. Now the sound is coming out much richer through this cable, and it's being separated. And that's what I wanted. So now each speaker is a left or a right channel instead of the one speaker being left and right. So if you're looking for a solution like this to turn your stereo speakers into mono speakers where you can hear the sound on left and right, this is how you do it. You're going to need this cable right here that has the RCA on one end and mono on one end, and then you want to hook one up to the left channel and hook the other one up to the right channel. Okay, so I hope this video was helpful to somebody who's trying to do this. I know most people won't understand what I'm talking about, but the people who do this kind of audio stuff will know what I'm talking about. So if you watched this video, even though you didn't understand what I was talking about, I want to thank you for taking the time for watching it, and hopefully you learned something from it. So I'm going to leave a link in the description to the cables that I personally use. If you decide to get any of these cables right here, please use the link in the description. I would really appreciate it because it would help support the channel. Okay, so that's going to be it for this video. I want to thank you for taking the time for watching it. Even if you didn't understand what I was talking about, I really appreciate that you took your time to watch this video all the way through. Leave your comments and questions and I will answer them as soon as possible. Have a good one, and I'll look forward to see you next time.